We are gonna get shit on so
Oh,
bad for this,
yeah,
dude.
we're gonna. I
I'm
know
just like,
it's.
I don't even want to check the comments on
I
this
don't
one.
either. I don't either. It'll be great.
If you're watching this right now and you haven't hit the like button, Billy, get on it. Bug your brother. Tell him to do the same.
Brenda from Patreon, thank you, Brenda, says, hate to say it, but I'm starting to think Adam is right. Thanks, Brenda. Power rank the AL East for me, please. So I think this is in response to what I was kind of talking about on the MLB Monday show yesterday, Scott, in that I think the Red
Boston
Sox are
might not
better
be
than
the
we're
horrible
giving them
team we
credit
think.
for.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the AL East standing. She wants us to power rank these 5 teams. So we got the Rays, Orioles, Blue Jays, Red Sox, and Yankees. Red Sox are only a half game back of us right now. No, 2.5.
No,
I'm looking at this
two and a
wrong.
half. Yeah.
2.5 back. Yankees in dead last. That's nice to see.
Listen,
Just
the
gonna say
Yankees
that
have
right
been
now.
completely devastated by injuries. They have been hit harder than almost any other team in Major League
Aaron Judge to
Baseball.
the 10-day IL.
That doesn't help. Giancarlo Stanton, who's constantly injured, is being consistent with that. Their pitching has been ripped to shreds. Carlos Rodon, their big free agent that they went out and spent mega bucks on in the offseason, is currently on the IL. Frankie Montas, that they made a huge trade for and gave up a bunch of prospects to the Oakland Athletics to grab at the trade deadline last year to bolster their starting rotation for the playoffs, out for the season, right? They are reeling. And I think that any team where you take out 2 of their top 4 starters is going to be in some trouble. And adding their top 2 offensive threats does not help. The Yankees are still scary. But if we're just going to, so I guess it depends on how you want to do the power rankings. If you're just doing it for right now, how the teams are looking currently and where their state is at May 2nd, 2023, I think the standings are probably a pretty accurate representation of the power rankings. Rays 1, Baltimore 2, Jays 3, Red Sox 4, Yankees 5. If you're asking us to project the power rankings by the end of the season, I still believe the Yankees are a playoff team if they can get healthy and stay healthy. Now, if they can get healthy and they're just right back to where they are, obviously this season might not be what Yankees fans were hoping for, which was another AL East win. The Red Sox, and I know you touched on this, Adam, I think they're going to be this AL East truly could break records this year for the kind of production we see out of it. There could be 4 legitimate playoff teams coming out of the AL East, never done before. All 5 teams could finish above 500, never been done by a division before. So are the Red Sox good? No, but they definitely aren't as bad as everyone said they were. And I don't know if you're on board with that. I don't know where your power rankings are, Adam.
Yeah, I differ from you a little bit. I would say the Red Sox. Ooh, I'm not quite ready to say they're good. Like, I don't think they're gonna be. I don't
They're
think they're gonna be a
pitching.
playoff team, but
Yeah.
they could be. I also like I'm leaning. If the spectrum is good or not as bad as we thought they were, I think they're closer to good than just better than we thought they were. Because I really didn't think they were going to be good at all. The Yankees, honestly, I think are worse than I thought they were. I think the Yankees are the worst team in the AL East.
Well, they're sure the worst team in the AL East without Stanton and Judge in the lineup. I'll tell you
Or like
that.
any starting pitchers. I remember
Or
when we were doing our preseason like preview, right? And we were looking at what does April hold for this team. I was frustrated because I'm like, well, the Yankees only have 1 starting pitcher right now in Garrett Cole, who, by the way, having a Cy Young season, probably
yes, he is.
uh, responsible for 6 of their 15
Yeah,
wins
yeah,
single-handedly, maybe.
yeah.
So without Garrett Cole, are they 9-21? Maybe. They're 15-15 right now, but like I was saying, they had such a soft schedule in April that I was frustrated because I was like, this team is still going to be at the top of the division at the end of April. despite all this like decimation to the starting pitching, right?
Mhm.
They haven't done that. I don't know. Like, despite the considerably soft schedule, they've not been able to keep themselves afloat. So I've been surprised by that. Baltimore, I've been surprised with. I thought they were going to have more of a regression immediately. I
I
I
still think they are going to.
I
I
think they're
just
overachieving, but man, when you start 19-9, all of a sudden those kids they start to believe in themselves. They start to
yes.
go, "Hey, we're for real." And then
Yes.
the narrative gets spun of like nobody believed in us, and you're putting the bulletin board material up
Mhm.
like everybody picked us to regress. Everybody figured we were going to finish below 500 or that the young kids couldn't, carry the whatever the thing is, right? And all of a sudden they're ahead of the Blue Jays. They're ahead of the Yankees. They're like keeping pace pretty close with the Rays. It's like here we are, May 2nd, and
And
I,
time will tell, obviously, but my problem with the Orioles is the same as my problem with the Red Sox. I just don't believe their starting pitching is going to hold up all season long. Although the Orioles continue to find arms in that bullpen out of freaking nowhere that are high leverage
yeah,
guys, their bullpen has been completely shut down again, even though their starting pitching has sort of sucked outside of Tyler Wells. I mean, Kyle Gibson has been consistent, but outside of those two, it is rough. And the Orioles are just bludgeoning teams to death and winning these 9-7 victories. Can that model work long term? I'm doubtful, but sure worked in April, Adam.
sure worked in April. All right, before I touch on the Rays, because I do think the Rays are overrated too. They've played nobody good. Well, that's not true. They've played the Blue Jays and the Astros, and they're 2-4 against those teams. Everybody else has sucked. They did get 4 games against the Red Sox, so they swept the Red Sox. Now, are the Red Sox good? That's the question, right? If they're good, then you're chalking that up and you say, well, the Rays swept them, so the Rays must be good.
Yes.
If you don't think the Red Sox are actually good, then you can't give Tampa Bay credit. So I'm still kind of on the fence about that. Does Tampa Bay deserve credit for sweeping the Red Sox? I mean, sweeping anybody, you deserve credit, but I do think the
Absolutely.
Rays are absolutely have an inflated record.
That said, they are winning. Winning against any team is hard, even
Yep,
if they
for
are a
sure.
below 500 team, especially to the degree that the Rays have done it, right? Which is just complete domination
All
over
right.
these bottom feeding teams.
So here's my power rankings because you're going as of today, you're just going with what the standings are, right? Tampa,
More or
Baltimore,
less.
Toronto,
I mean,
Boston, New York.
yes. Yeah, I'll go with that right now. If we're
All
just
right.
going for May 2nd, currently, where are the power rankings? And power rankings always shift. Yeah, I'm going with that.
All right. I'm going with Blue Jays 1, Rays 2, Orioles 3, Red Sox 4, Yankees 5.
Okay.
There you go. Um, while we're on the topic of young teams or teams that are overachieving and is it sustainable? I know this isn't a Blue Jays topic. I touched on it yesterday on the MLB show. Pittsburgh Pirates. I just want your thoughts on this before we get out of here, Scott. They're 20-9 right now. Are
I'll believe
they
it
for
when I
real?
see it. I'm sorry. I listen, and I've got friends that are Pirates fans, and they're getting really annoyed with me because I refuse to give them much credit. I need to see more out of the Pirates before I make an actual call on whether they're good or not. They have had an incredible start to the season. Well deserved for that fan base who have just taken one lump after another over the years, and it's really good to see them get a little bit of life, you know, put into them. It's awesome to see Andrew McCutchen come back and just have such a hot start. Carlos Santana has been their other kind of free agent pickup that has just been nothing but a success story in Pittsburgh. O'Neal Cruz getting injured is big, and I just don't buy that this starting pitching is as good as they have looked. I'll eat my words. I mean, the NL Central, buddy, is a weak division. If there's a division that could
Mm-hmm.
be, I mean, Go Pirates. I hope they do well. By the way, while we're talking of this, I'm at that Pittsburgh Pirates series. So I'm going to have walk-off stickers with a little QR code that will send you to the YouTube. If you see me in Pittsburgh and you're there, please stop and say hello. I know I got a couple messages from people who came to my shows over the weekend and they didn't stop and say hello. And I was like, why not?
Scott's not a celebrity. He's
I am
approachable.
not a celebrity. Yes, and I'm very approachable. I'm far more of a nerd than anything else. So
just don't try and buy a keychain for the price of a dirty old lime.
Or you'll get me worked up. Yes.
Pittsburgh finished the season 62-100 last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they finish above 500 this year.
I feel
despite
the same
this
way.
hot start. Oddly enough, St. Louis won the division last year, 93 wins. Bottom of the NL Central this year, 10-19 to start the season.
Wow.
Yeah. Milwaukee, I would say if I had to, I don't want to power rank the whole NL Central, but my favorite to win the NL Central
Milwaukee
right now is probably the Brewers.
My favorite too. Yeah, me too.
So, okay, well, there you go, Scott. That's mailbag for today.
Okay,
we got an interview for tomorrow. You want to tease that?
Yes, we do. Shoaib Ali from Jays Talk on Sportsnet 590. The Fan in Toronto is going to be joining us. So we will talk this Red Sox series, Blue Jays, Bo Bichette, all sorts of stuff. Feel free to drop a comment if you've got something that you want us to ask show, and we will do that. At Walk Off Podcast on Twitter, the Walk Off Podcast on Instagram. DM us if you want to link to the Discord, Patreon. A tip of the hat to you. Really appreciate you supporting the channel the way you do. And feel free to drop us a comment here for next mailbag if that is something that you would like to try and participate in. We're always combing through the comments on YouTube here. I know Adam's pretty diligent with that, so hopefully next week we can get you on if you didn't get on today. All the best, everybody. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye, Dad.